So welcome to the press conference for race 1 of the Bennetts British Superbike Championship. Here we are at Donington. James Ellison, coming to you first. 8th Bennetts British Superbike Championship, over 200 races under your belt. Was it the start you expected?
It was a start I wanted, to be honest with you. It was a good pace at the front. I was quite happy in the lead, and then I was kind of thinking, I seen +0 on the board, and I thought, well, am I holding people up, or are they just kind of staying with me? So when Bradley passed me, I was quite happy with that, because I didn't really know what pace to set. He got past, and he was actually up, he was putting down a really, really strong pace, and it was actually difficult to keep up with him in a lot of areas. So I thought, fair play, we're making a gap on whoever's in 3rd place, so I'll just stick behind Bradley and just see what happens, really. Yeah, and like I say, he made a fantastic race. Just towards the end, I could see he was maybe just getting a bit excited, because he was obviously coming up to his first race win, so the leg was out every corner. He was losing the rear, losing the front. I thought, he's desperate for this. So I was kind of trying to keep my calm, and he was really, really strong going to Foggy's S's. So I knew if I passed him before that, he'd surely just pass me back again there on the last lap. So my plan was kind of sit behind him and have a go at Melbourne Loop, which I thought was his weakest point. Of course, he stuck his leg out and sort of went to the inside there. I thought, that's fine, I'm going to the outside, and cut back, and then this Ducati appeared up the inside from nowhere. So kind of caught me out a little bit. Obviously, Shaky must have been digging deep those last few laps and managed to reel us in. So a little bit disappointed not to have a challenge with Bradley at the end of the race. But to be honest with you, he put a fantastic race together, and he deserves a win. So, to leave here for the first race with the Anvil Hire tag team on a podium position, I'm quite happy with that. And yeah, fair play to the other boys as well.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Shaky Burn. So you launched into the start of that race. You dropped back and you leave it till the last lap to go past James and take 2nd place. Was it completely different to qualifying?
It was, we have when we start with our bike, we have a little light that we have to kind of get to, and then we know we're at about the right RPM for a decent start. But I pulled up on the grid, done everything as normal, put the bike in gear, and started to kind of rev the engine a little bit. But as soon as I did, the bike started like as if it was going to jolt forward. And I was looking at the light and I was trying to build the RPM, but the jolts were getting bigger and bigger. And I thought, I've absolutely no idea what's going to happen when I let go of the clutch in a minute, when the light goes out. And I just tried to rev the thing, and I let the clutch, I must have moved like a fraction of a millimetre when the light went out, and it just went vertical. And I thought, oh dear, this is not the start to my season I was hoping for. I mean, ever the optimist, I was happy to be on the grid, because this time last year I wasn't even here. But yeah, it definitely made things hard work, and I dropped right back down the order. And I was very conscious of the fact that it wasn't overly hot, so I tried to be really, really careful with the tyre when I was coming through, so that I had some tyre left at the end of the race. And it looked like at one point that these two were just too far away, but I thought, no, come on, you just keep digging, keep digging, keep digging. And all of a sudden we were on them, and Bradley had a moment coming out of the S's on the last lap, and I saw James, thought, right, this is it, this is my opportunity. But I looked at the pair of them, I thought, right, that's it, this is my opportunity. I managed to get past James, and then going up into the last corner, I really thought about a move on Bradley, but it would have been one of those like last minute late lunges, fairing, banging, and if I'd have ended up upside down and he had too after doing such a good race, it would have been somewhat criminal. And although we're fellow Southerners, I don't think he would have liked me very much. So fair play to him, fair play to James. It's been it was a tough race for me. I'm sure it would have been a little bit easier if I'd have started at the front with him. But I'm happy to take 20 points, however many podium points that means, 3 points or whatever, and onwards and upwards for tomorrow.
Fantastic. Thank you, Shaky. Well, what a start to the 2018 championship. First Bennett's race win. It means you're starting from pole tomorrow. I want to ask you, what was going through your mind in that last lap?
To be honest, win bonus, I wish. To be honest, I tried to keep my cool as much as I could, but it is so difficult when you're coming up to win your first British Superbike win. It's an incredible feeling. And on the second to last lap, I come around with plus 1.2, and I thought, right, I'll keep my cool and try and hold 1.2 to the last lap. And like I said, I come around to the last lap and I had plus 0, and I thought, oh no, that's it. I've got a race on here. And to be honest, I did make a mistake out of the Foggy S's, and I thought I could hear this the Yamaha, and I thought he's going to make a move, he's going to make a move. So I try and brake as late as I could and get it to the apex, and I managed to drive out of there okay and come to the last corner, and I heard a Ducati then. I thought, oh no, oh no. So I just braked as late as I could and went as tight as I could and just stopped the bike and fired it out. And luckily I had enough to the line, but to to come here and get my first win on the first round of the year is just unbelievable.